15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Numerical order. Okay, stop. How many you got 15 or more? How many got 10 or more? Good job, spatial, very spatial. Okay, all right, how many kind of struggled with it? A little bit. Okay, now let's use the same paper. Use the same paper. And I want you to fold it in quarters. Fold it in inside fold, outside fold, doesn't matter. Inside fold, outside fold, doesn't matter. There's a method to this. There's a strategy. You love that word? I love that word. It kind of flows off the tongue very easily. It's a strategy. Okay, here's what it looks like. 1 is in this quadrant, 2 is in this quadrant, 3 is in this quadrant, 4 is in this quadrant, and it goes clockwise. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, clockwise. So let's start again, and I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Okay, don't start until I tell you to go.
Do you want me to start with all of them already circled?
What? No, you go to start where you left off.
Oh, okay, ready.
Thank you, Peggy. Thank you so much. Okay, start where you left off. Okay, on your mark, get set, go. Okay, stop. How many of you did better? You did better. Okay, why do you think you did better?
We had a strategy.
Why? Set a strategy. Why else?
Gave us direction.
Gave us direction.
We knew where to look.
You knew where to look. What else? Made it easy. Did you feel more confident? More empowered? Okay. I'm telling you, when you teach young people and old people and middle-aged people and divorced people and single people and married people and fragile families, fragile family is defined as a family that they already have a child, but they have no intention to be together, but they have to learn how to get along for the sake of the child. That's called a fragile family. Every single person does better when you give them the skills to do so. Everybody does better on a puzzle when they have the box to look at. Okay? This is what we need to do in this country, is we need to talk about relationship education and not just define this is healthy, this is unhealthy. Fine, that's theory. Let's reduce it to the ridiculous. Let's operationalize every concept. So here's one concept that we operationalize. We call ourselves Maslow on steroids, okay? Because it's all about ooey gooey issues of the heart. Okay, so in front of you, you should have a big heart. A big heart in front of you, and it looks like this. Does everybody have one? Now you could do this later, or you can do it now. But when I was a nurse in the hospital, and I would be dealing with people who were post-surgery or whatever, I would ask, 1 to 10, where is your pain? Is that concrete?
Yes.
Yeah. If a patient said to me, well, I'm at a 2, I could go see some other patients before I had to go to the narcotics counter. Okay, but if they tell me they're at an 8, guess where I'm going? Tells me something very different. I'm going straight to get their pain meds, right? So that's the same concept we do in this, basic needs of the heart. So I say to every kid, whether on the juvenile justice or in a, you know, private Christian school that is well-funded and well-resourced, or, you know, private school, whatever, charter school, whatever it is, a well-resourced school. And I say to the young people, where is your heart, 1 to 10? And I define it. 1 is you're sad, you're lonely, you're frustrated, you're alone, you know, you're looking sideways and your life is not so great. You're a 1. And 10 is zippity-doo-dah-day, you've got everything you need. Tell me where you are. Draw a line, use crayons, use markers, you know, whatever you want to do, but give me an indication of where you are. Give them a couple of seconds, because they know, and then hold up your papers. Okay? And you don't have to tell me where you are, because you don't know me, but that's okay. But the thing is, it's an indicator of where you are in your heart, and it could change on any given day. I mean, it doesn't have to change a lot, but it could change. And so then I have them hold up their papers, and then we really go after it. Okay, you are at a 4. I don't want you to be at a 4. You don't function really well at a 4. How do I get you to a 7? And so then you turn it around, and this is a list of the human needs. All of us need to be connected, because a connected child is a protected child. And we need to have these things: affirmations, rest, you know, nurture, respect, safety, security, stability, support. All of these are ooey gooey yummy words that could be that we need to define for young people and old people alike. And then they have to figure out, kind of on their own, what is the priority of their needs? How do I get them from a 4 to a 7? So here's a true story. So I was going into a juvenile justice. I had gone in to ask if I could have some time with these really high-risk kids who already were in either diversion programs or whatever. And they didn't want me to come in because apparently a grant had just come out and everybody wanted a partner because they wanted to get the money. And I said, I don't need your money. I already have a grant to come in and talk to these kids. You know, I didn't even know the grant, but they said, no more programs. No more programs. We're not letting you in. No more programs. We've had it. All these people coming in, you know, using our kids as guinea pigs. I said, can you give me 1 hour? And I won't even bring in a program. I will bring in an empty piece of paper and a marker. I didn't even bring this in. I didn't even bring this in because this is considered a program. Piece of paper with writing on it. So I brought in a blank sheet of paper for each kid, some markers, and that's all I brought in. And they go, well, sure. And I said, and I don't want you to leave. I want you to watch this. So I had all these government employees against the wall. They've been in juvenile justice forever, and it's getting worse. It's not getting better. Okay? So as I sat down with the kids on the floor, there were about 17 of them, mostly minority kids. Unfortunately, there is a connection, mostly minority kids. And so I introduced myself, did a little quick icebreaker, and then I handed out the paper. I go, draw a heart on the paper. Draw a heart. And then I explained to them what I just explained to you. Here's a marker. Tell me where you are. 1 to 10. What do you think they most were? Pretty low. Under 5. Between a 2 and a 3. Hovering between a 2 and a 3. Show me your papers. I'll show me their papers. And I said, it makes me want to cry that you're at a 2 and a 3. And that's why you're sucking air. You're looking for anything to get attention. Even negative attention is better than no attention. And I said, so let's figure out, in the next 45 minutes that we're together, we're going to figure out how to get you to a 10. And they don't know these words. They don't know. You can't operationalize these words. So I just said, tell me what you think it would take to get you from a 2 to a 3. It's in there. It's like spaghetti sauce. You just have to get it out their mouth. It's in there. What do you think it would take to get you from a 2 to a 3 or a 3 to a 4. And I had set my cell phone to honor my time, to honor what they said. I set my time. So while we're doing this, and the kids are, and we're kind of leaning in to each other because we're on the floor, and my cell phone goes off. And all the people standing against the wall said, you could go, keep going, keep going. And I said, no, I want to honor the time that you gave me, because you kind of keep them wanting, like Cabbage Patch Kids. Keep them wanting. And I said, no. And as I'm leaving, the kids are pulling on my jean jacket. You cannot go. You cannot go. And it was stunning to these people against. It wasn't stunning to me. And it wasn't really about me. It was what I was saying. It wasn't about me. I could have been, whoever. It was about this. This is what they're looking for. They're looking for that ooey gooey, touchy-feely to teach me how to do life well. And it's not just saying about relationships, it's actually operationalizing each concept. Do you know that there's a relationship attachment model, the steps of intimacy, learning your love language, learning how to do conflict well, learning how to negotiate, learning how to make decisions, learning how to I can train my grandchildren how to stop, how to stop whining. Can you imagine? How to stop whining. Okay, they'll come to my house and they'll, and I go, you know what? Grammy doesn't do that. I don't even know what you're doing here. Whining just makes, it's like, fingernails on a blackboard. Okay, why don't you use your words? Why don't you use your words? And they don't have a lot of words to use, but they have some. And start with, I feel. And tell me what you need. What do you need? What do you need? Or I feel. And even though they don't have a lot of words, I can get them to stop whining. And then I give them a treat, much to the grin of their parents, with all the sugar gummy bears and all that. And I go, that was awesome that you were able, because healthy people ask for what they need. Healthy people ask for what they need. Okay? And this whole drama fest of what's wrong? Nothing! What's wrong? Nothing! My husband says to me, I am so glad I'm married to you because you make it really easy. I go, really? I do? Wow. I said, why are we making? He goes, because I never have to guess what you need. So he's telling me. I even tell him what I need for me to, okay, I'm going to go home and I'm exhausted. This is what I need for him to say to me. So I do husband script. And then we play with a glass of wine and, okay, Bruce, you say this and I'll say this back to you. And you say this and tilt your head like you really mean it. Because we have to, this is how we do life together. This is how we do life together. What do you expect in a relationship? What do you want? Why do you want a relationship? Do you want all that drama? And so even having kids write down, even if you're not in a boyfriend, even if you don't have a boyfriend, you don't have a girlfriend, doesn't matter. But if you had one, what would you expect out of this relationship? Not just what do they look like and what their personality is and all that. What would you want out of this relationship? Write down your expectations. Okay? Because that's a great exercise. Anyway, we do all these kind of things like your personalities and all that kind of stuff. So, I only have 3 more minutes, and I want to honor your time, so I'm going to close it down right now. I'm going to close it on down, so you can open it up for questions. All right, so anybody have a question? Comment? Yes?
It's a little bit off the subject, but how about we're studying the factors that make a very strong child, right, in a 2-parent relationship. How about, does anybody ever study the exceptions where you have a single parent whose kids do seem to, what are the unique factors that happen there?
Oh, you know what, let me just tell you, this is not a cut on single parents. I was a single mom for 8 years. Sometimes divorce is needed. 7. Sometimes life throws you a curve. I would never, ever, I'm just talking about the data here. When you have a single parent who gets a community involved and wraps that child around a coach, a church, a community group, mentors, when you have high levels of supervision and high levels of interaction, I think they do just fine. Just fine, and excel even. And excel and do really well. We have all kinds of exceptions to the rule, but generally speaking, this is what we see. And if you have a single parent who has resources,
Yeah.
the resources make up a lot. Because if you're learning about giraffes and then you can take a kid to a zoo and wrap that child around the issues of giraffes. But a poor mom can't buy a book on giraffes, can't take the kid to the zoo to see a giraffe, can't have an expert talk about giraffes. You see what I'm saying? You don't have resources. And you're in struggle mode. And you're in survival mode all the time. And many single moms are working many jobs or single dads to try to make it, and kids are left they're raising themselves. Or the machines are raising them, and what's coming in is not healthy. So, but please, that's a great question, and I don't want to paint everybody with such a broad brush, because there's so many single parents that are doing a great job.
Because you want to try to give the parents that are alone the resources, right?
That's right. And you know what? When I was growing up and I was in high school and college, I never said to me, you know what I want to be when I grow up? I want to be a single mom of 4 teenagers. I never wanted to do that, but some people, some communities, that is their model. That is their model. And we want to break that model. Any other questions or comments? Yes?
And this is very good. May we share this with students that come into?
Oh, absolutely. And if there's any other things that I can do for you, I'm going to give up my business card. I'll have my business card. I'd love to resource you or help you however I can do that. Yes. Anything else? Any other questions? Yes.
My name's Stephanie Kroll, and I'm actually a job developer with Yonkers Employment Services, and it was quite interesting hearing about the statistics specifically done in Yonkers. My question is, what advice do you have for people like me working with the community where, the teenage pregnancy did happen, the no diploma did happen, the poverty did happen, and you're on welfare? What are the next steps to address something like that, to uplift your future and to have hope that you're not going to be in this situation forever?
That is such a great question, Stephanie. Such a great question. Let me just tell you that we look at already pregnant parenting, already in poverty, already dropped out of school. Let me just say, we do Etch-a-Sketch. Etch-a-Sketch, do-over, you do the Dr. Phil questions. So how's this all working for you? Would you like something different? You don't force your stuff on them. Would you like something different? You know that they say yes. This is hard. And in fact, we partner with Denver Workforce. They actually came to us and said, look, we want you to develop relationship education for the workplace. Because we hire these kids, we do the apprenticeships with these kids, we even pay the corporation to hire them. Then they go in there, they don't know how to do team building, they don't know how to do relationships in the workplace, and then they curse out their boss, and then they're fired. So we do all kinds of relationships, familial, peer-to-peer, romantic, and in the workplace. Because there's many overlapping concepts and there are many that are not. So the answer is, we start wherever you are. I do divorce recovery. They're already divorced. Now, they're going to have another relationship. They will. They're so hurt and they're so wounded and they feel like an agitator in a washing machine, okay, in their heart, and they're a one, and they're never going to have another relationship again, ever. They always tell me that. I go, yes, you are, because the research tells us you're hardwired to connect, and if you don't change your patterns, and you don't do something different next time, it's gonna happen again. So let's change the pattern. That's what I'm talking about. Does that answer your question?
Very much so, and I would love to speak even more with you.
Okay, change the pattern.
Yes.
Let's give you the tools to change the trajectory, even if you're there. Okay?
Do you know if other states work, if these programs work with other workforce development states, or?
Well, our
Or is that
program, they came to us in Denver Workforce, and they asked us to develop this. And then I was recently at a county-wide event, and they asked me to be in 5 other counties. I don't have the resources right now to be in 5 other counties.
Right.
So I said, can you give me a few months? Okay, I will hire the right people. We will come and get you trained. We do train the trainer. I'm going to train you. I can train you to do it in your county and train you. And then the county changes. I can't do it. My team can't do it, but we can train you. We can train you to do it. Yes?
I have nothing to say except that I love you.
That's what's your love language? My love language is acts of service and words of affirmation, and so I love you too. Mwah. I love you too. Okay, so one more question. We have time for one more. One more. Well, yeah, I love your comment. It was a great way to end it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you want more information, please come up and I'll give you my